Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a giddy couple in love that loves reacting to some Genshin Impact.
Yes, we do.
And it's Triple Trailer Tuesday, people.
Woohoo.
So we got 3 trailer reactions for the Genshin Miscellany. So if you want all of our Genshin Impact reactions, go ahead and check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. And today we're checking out, this is the part where I butcher all the names. Childe, Keqing, and Zhongli. Hopefully I got one of their names right.
I mean, I feel like those are probably better attempts than I would have done. So.
Or Childe. I feel like Childe wouldn't work.
No.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. And because it's Genshin Impact.
We have a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. This is actually one of the most fun ones, I think, in my opinion. So this is our, what's the name of the character again?
Childe's Sparkling Bomb.
This is Childe's Sparkling Bomb. It's got pop rocks on the rim. It's awesome. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Fatui from Snezhnaya are known to make waves wherever they go in Teyvat, and Tartaglia is a driving force within them. Of the 11 Harbingers, 10 concern themselves with clandestine operations. Tartaglia is the sole exception. Rather than lure his enemies into a trap, he prefers to face them head-on.
I don't think that shell is going to help you, dude.
Yeah.
The wind is picking up.
Oh, Tartaglia.
There's conflict in the air.
His reputation precedes him. Childe is known far and wide as a
Okay, Childe. It is Childe.
It is.
Well versed in a variety of fighting forms. He can switch stances at will, and has 2 distinct modes of attack at his disposal. When Tartaglia is in your party, all characters' normal attacks gain 1 level, dealing increased damage as a result.
It's a nice benefit.
Yeah.
Tartaglia is weakest with a bow,
I like the name too, Tartaglia.
so he chooses to use one precisely to overcome this weakness. His normal attack can combo up to 6 consecutive shots. Charging the attack
also just
executes a
very
more
fancy.
precise shot that deals increased damage.
Yes.
He's out past Flare.
Like going out in battle?
Aiming, hydro energy accumulates on the arrowhead. A fully charged arrow will deal hydro damage to enemies on impact, and also apply the Riptide status to them. When an enemy is affected by Riptide, further hits from Tartaglia's fully charged arrows deal multiple bouts of area of effect hydro damage. Also, when Tartaglia defeats an enemy affected by Riptide, it causes a hydro burst, which applies the Riptide status to nearby enemies. Unlocking the talent Never Ending extends the duration of Riptide. Faced with a strong foe, Tartaglia will reveal his true might. When he casts his elemental skill, he summons weaponry fashioned from pure hydro, dealing hydro damage to surrounding enemies in the process, and also switches to his melee stance. In this stance, his normal attack now combos up to 6 consecutive hydro slashes.
Wow.
Charging the attack consumes stamina and releases a 2-slash flurry, dealing hydro damage. In melee stance, when Tartaglia strikes an enemy affected by Riptide, he deals area of effect hydro damage. Tartaglia exits melee stance when his elemental skill is cast again, or after a certain time has elapsed. He then returns to his ranged stance, and his elemental skill enters cooldown.
Okay, then you better back up quickly after.
Tartaglia spends in melee stance,
getting in there.
the longer the cooldown time. After unlocking the talent Sword of Torrents, when in melee stance, if Tartaglia deals a critical hit, the Riptide status is applied to the enemy. Depending on Tartaglia's stance, his elemental burst will unleash one of 2 different attacks.
Riptide!
In ranged stance, Tartaglia swiftly fires a hydro-imbued magic arrow ahead of him, which deals area of effect hydro damage, and also applies the Riptide status to enemies. Afterwards, Tartaglia regains some of his spent energy.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
In melee stance, Tartaglia performs a slashing attack with a wide area of effect, dealing substantial hydro damage to all surrounding enemies. And if the elemental burst hits an enemy affected by Riptide, the Riptide effect will be consumed in a hydro explosion, which deals area of effect hydro damage. Tartaglia is a formidable warrior who lives for the heat of battle. He chooses his moments to attack and retreat, and is tactical when selecting his mode of attack. This is what makes him so powerful. Faced with a single opponent, start by firing at them from a distance to apply the
get
Riptide
close.
status. Then, enter melee stance and go in for the kill. Use fast and frequent attacks to trigger Riptide effects and deal immense damage. Against groups of enemies, build up energy in advance and unleash an elemental burst in ranged stance to apply the Riptide status to the group. Then enter melee stance and attack the enemies affected by Riptide, hacking away at their health while also restoring Tartaglia's energy. Wait for an opportune moment to unleash another elemental burst and take them all out in one go, bringing the battle to a clear-cut conclusion. Few know where Tartaglia acquired his fighting skills before becoming a Harbinger. Nor do many know where his lust for combat originates. There is a dangerous secret to the martial legacy he inherits, but it is one that even he himself does not fully understand. Since becoming a Fatui Harbinger, fighting for the Tsaritsa is his new motivation as a warrior. Childe is the Tsaritsa's weapon of war, and he stands for the might of Snezhnaya. An icy storm is starting to blow towards the other nations. Brace yourselves. Tevat is about to get cold.
That's a nice little teaser there.
Yeah.
The end. Storyteller Fallout would be proud.
Indeed.
That is a story for another day.
Everyone in Liyue knows it is Rex Lapis who protects their borders. But the city's daily affairs are run by the Keqing.
Legs.
As Yuhang of the Keqing, Keqing acts decisively and
Keqing.
pragmatically,
Oh.
knowing every inch of
Definitely got her
Liyue
name
like the
wrong.
back of her hand.
Cha-ching.
Yet as a
Ka-ching.
representative of the mortals of Liyue, she has much to say about Rex Lapis's unilateral governance.
We live in an era of change, as the old order that has existed for 1,000 years is about to be rewritten.
Within the Keqing, Keqing is one for action. Ruthless efficiency is her modus operandi.
Ruthless
Like her
efficiency.
personality, her sword work is both swift and uncompromising. This, along with her control of Electro, brings a shockingly abrupt end.
Oh,
to
sweet.
Dang.
Keqing could not be more familiar with Liyue.
That reminded me of
Even
something
on
like
long
this.
journeys, she
It's happening all
always
around.
finds a swift route back home. If dispatched on an expedition in Liyue, she will complete it more quickly than most.
It's one we watched recently.
Yeah.
I'm trying to place it too.
Keqing can unleash a combo of up to 5 normal attacks, her final strike allowing her to pass through enemies.
She's slick.
Yunlai swordsmanship is both offensive and defensive, offering a way to dodge some attacks and strike back from a better angle. Hold the attack button to consume stamina, and release a 2/ flurry, dealing high physical damage.
Back for more.
Tap Keqing's elemental skill Stellar Restoration to throw a lightning stiletto, which deals electro damage to enemies in a small area upon impact, and leaves behind a lightning stiletto marker. If Keqing uses Stellar Restoration again while the marker is still present, she flies to the marker and performs a quick slash, dealing electro AoE damage. Holding Stellar Restoration allows Keqing to aim the lightning stiletto before releasing it. Adept use of the lightning stiletto produces various results. With the lightning stiletto, Keqing can flash into battle and attack from the best position. The lightning stiletto can also be used in exploration to navigate challenging terrain. Keqing can also clear the lightning stiletto with a charged attack, causing a slashing thunderstorm that deals electro AoE damage at its location. Deft use of this skill allows Keqing to creatively deal ranged damage. After unlocking the talent Thundering Penance, using Stellar Restoration while the lightning stiletto is present converts Keqing's normal and charged attacks to electro damage for a short time.
Cut to the chase!
Keqing unleashes her electro power, causing electro AoE damage. Hiding behind the shadow of her sword, she relentlessly slashes surrounding enemies at lightning
move.
speed,
Yeah.
dealing multiple rounds of damage, with a final burst of electro AoE damage at the end. After unlocking the talent Aristocratic Dignity, casting Starward Sword increases Keqing's crit rate and energy recharge for a period of time. Light on her feet and leaving no shadow, Keqing is a sharp addition to any team. Groups of enemies or single opponents are no match for a well-executed combination of her skills. Keqing cuts them all down with ease. The key to combat with Keqing is mastery of the lightning stiletto. First, use her elemental skill to place the stiletto. Then, use her elemental skill again to zip into battle and strike quickly. Follow up with more electro damage, using her elemental skill to suppress the enemy.
She's beating up a plant.
Continue to use the lightning stiletto at opportune moments to frequently move and attack. Keep up the offensive to rapidly accumulate energy.
Just not as impressive with me at this point.
Once full, it is time to unleash Starward Sword and bring the fight to a perfect end. Human history is to be written by the people. Even without the protection of the gods, Liyue would flourish as always. This is Keqing's belief. This desire to take fate into her own hands. I remember this feeling. Will she be able to bring her vision to life, to protect this land she calls home? In the hands of the Keqing, where is Liyue headed? The road ahead is unclear, but we shall wait and see.
Her ending wasn't as good as...
When it comes to Liyue's sacred traditions, the divinity is in the details. Even the most fastidious of academics don't claim to know them all. And yet, the mysterious funeral consultant, Zhongli, seems to know them like the back of his hand. The ancient rite of parting is a most unique tradition. Many details have been lost over time, but Zhongli is still able to perform the rite to perfection. Though he looks young, Zhongli knows each ancient tradition inside out. But his own past is shrouded in mystery.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
Zhongli excels at manipulating Geo, able to create and absorb Geo matter, and provide sturdy shields for his allies. This, paired with his exceptional ability in combat, makes him a reliable member of your party. Zhongli seems to know everything about everything, even a simple chunk of white iron ore. He is able to pick out the best ore and use it to maximum effectiveness. When forging polearms, Zhongli recovers a set percentage of the ores used. Zhongli's normal attack can combo up to 6 strikes, dealing physical damage
just
to
like kick that sword at him? Or I didn't
Hold the attack button to consume a set amount of stamina and lunge forward, casting down stone spears across Zhongli's path, dealing significant physical damage to enemies. Tap Zhongli's elemental skill to summon the Geo energy from within the ground, and form a stone steel, dealing area of effect Geo damage to enemies. While the stone steel remains, it will periodically resonate with nearby Geo constructs, dealing continuous Geo damage to surrounding enemies. You can take advantage of this in battle. Draw enemies affected by other elements towards the stone steel to both deal Geo damage and cause crystallize reactions. Use the elemental shield created by Crystallize to help your party survive. Stone steels can also be used to block enemy attacks, or climbed to traverse difficult terrain. Holding Zhongli's elemental skill causes Geo energy around him to explode, creating a Jade shield and dealing area of effect Geo damage. The Jade shield absorbs damage. The amount absorbed scales with Zhongli's max HP and is higher against enemies' Geo attacks.
He seems like kind of a badass. He just like stands there, like takes his time. I don't know.
Geo. It will drain a large amount of Geo energy from up to 2 of them. This effect does not deal damage, but but can effectively break down enemies' geo-armor and nearby ore deposits. After unlocking the talent Resonant Waves, when the Jade Shield takes damage, it will fortify your character, allowing their shield to absorb more damage.
This is order.
Zhongli can bring a huge meteor crashing down, dealing massive geo damage and applying petrification to enemies caught near the impact site. Petrified enemies become immobilized. After unlocking the talent Dominance of Earth, Planet Befall deals additional damage
Kicking
to
him in the
enemies,
stone dick.
which scales with Zhongli's max HP. Zhongli maintains his composure, even as he metes out punishment in battle. His exceptional ability to provide support and deal damage makes him quite prepared for any scenario. As the fight begins, first use Zhongli's elemental skill to summon a stone steel and draw enemies near it, creating the ideal environment
Stone
for
butt.
dealing damage. Next,
Ooh.
create a Jade Shield to absorb incoming damage. Then, alternate normal and charged attacks, stringing together attacks to deal enormous damage. When energy is full, unleash an elemental burst and coordinate your party's attacks to wipe out the enemy. While Liyue Harbor grows restless on the eve of disaster, as the host of the Rite of Parting, Zhongli still calmly goes about his work. The world around him may be descending into chaos, yet he remains unperturbed, sipping his tea and watching a good show. Quite the fascinating character. As Liyue faces the turbulence of change, does he believe it is none of his business? Or is he also a player in this game, acting behind the scenes? It may be some time before the answers
latter.
finally emerge. But no matter, for time is not something I lack.
Okay. All right. So, what'd you think? Who was your favorite out of that group?
I think Childe for the fighting skills,
Okay.
the flair, and the confidence.
Mm.
But Zhongli, am I saying that right?
I think so. Zhongli.
Is the most intriguing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and don't be wrong, Miss Ruthless Efficiency, Keqing, was right up there as well. I mean, she's very formidable as a fighter, which I totally respect. I kind of just think they gave the guy characters some better story.
Okay. Yeah.
So that sucked me in more.
Yeah. I think story-wise, hers was definitely the last on this one. But like, I liked her fighting style the best. The zipping all around, everything like that, and she had a lot of stabby stabs. That was cool. So Keqing is probably my favorite of the characters, just because like I'm thinking more of just like the who I want to play as. And then probably Childe, and then Zhongli. But like Zhongli, like you said, is my favorite as far as like who I want to get to know more about, and like who I think is like going to be more important for the story and everything.
It's interesting how when you're looking at this, you're looking at like who do I want to play as.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when I look at it, I'm like, who would I want to be on a team as? Like, who do I want to get to know better and like fight alongside and whatnot? So it's just interesting the different perspectives that we approach it with.
Well, then definitely Zhongli would be the one whose side I want to be on, just because I mean he seems like an awesome support character, and just all that like different I don't know, the different summons that he has, and he's just so cool and calm and collected, and so very impressive.
He was very zen.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of curious how he got into this line of work as a funeral director.
Yeah.
A young person, but with all of the perfect knowledge of the ancient workings of these rituals. And I don't know, he's kind of a mystery.
So I think power-wise, I feel like Zhongli is the top, and then probably Tartaglia, Childe, and then probably Keqing. She's probably the weakest, I would have to say. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the order I would put them in. I'm wondering if I can make an argument for changing up that order in any way, but I don't feel like I can make a good argument. I'm also curious, like, so Childe had two names. He was Tartaglia, if we're saying that right, and he was Childe. Maybe they explained it and I missed it, but why does he get two names? Is one indicative of like his group, organization, sect of people, or is it like a first and last name situation? Everyone else just seemed to have a name, and then he comes in with 2. So I'm just curious as to like why and what is the meaning there.
You'll have to let us know down below in the comments. And if you want all of our Genshin Impact reactions, check out the description of this video. We got playlists there for you as we continue with these Triple Trailer Tuesdays, checking out more of the Genshin Impact Collected Miscellany. So we're going to continue with that and giving our thoughts on who we think is the strongest. And we're usually wrong about that, but at least you can see an outsider's perspective on what we think and how it looks. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Genshin Impact Triple Trailer Tuesday, but just keep in mind
That our reaction is definitely not definitive.